Hi guys, I noticed that there are two remakes coming out pretty soon, one being a remake of Robocop and the other being a remake of Endless Love. Now, Robocop needs no introduction. It's a classic in the action genre and to this day is adored by action junkies like myself. Endless Love, on the other hand, doesn't quite have the same loyal following in the romantic drama department. The movie's a bit of a mess, and although there are definitely fans of the film, it definitely doesn't have the same praise and legacy Robocop has for the action genre. So some may be asking, why remake Endless Love? What would be the appeal to that? If it wasn't a very good movie, why remake a movie that people didn't like? Wouldn't it be better to remake something like Robocop, a movie that people love? Well, here's my thing on that. I'm much more on board with a remake of Endless Love than I am a remake of Robocop. Why? Because Robocop is already a great movie. There's no need at all to remake it, except for the sole purpose of making a quick buck at the box office. Oh, and by the way, you gotta love a remake of an action film known for its extreme over-the-top violence and gore getting a PG-13 rating. Clearly they know their fan base. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe the remake of Robocop, maybe it'll actually turn out good. Maybe even really good. But if it doesn't, then that damages the original Robocop. Let's forget the sequels and just talk about the first and original Robocop. If this remake turns out terrible, then the simple title Robocop gets scarred. And when people talk about the film, whether they talk about it positively or negatively, they are talking about two different Robocops and they'll have to specify which one they're talking about. Endless Love, on the other hand, is already a bad movie, at least in my opinion, so either this remake will also suck, which, honestly, judging by the trailer, it probably will, but it might surprise us. Maybe even it will turn out decent. My point being, though, is whether it turns out good or still ends up sucking like the original, there's no risk to it being remade, really. If Hollywood stopped remaking beloved movies from the past and focused more on possibly remaking movies that had potential but just missed the mark, we could turn out with remakes that are actually improvements over the original and actually good movies, unlike the original. For instance, I wouldn't mind seeing someone do a remake of The Purge, because the movie had an interesting setup but completely wasted it on being a dull home invasion movie with stupid characters, something that we've seen several times. Imagine if The Purge was instead actually focused on the purge that's going on in that movie over a 12-hour period. There'd be all sorts of possibilities with action suspense, with anything going on in that big city. I'm not a big fan of remakes as it is, but since Hollywood and many filmmakers insist on going in that department, we should consider this instead. I mean, really, let's consider taking a movie that had potential but failed and fixing it up and making something potentially good. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen in most cases because most mainstream movie companies want to focus more on what's going to get them the most money and not so much what's going to get them the best movie. And yes, the Endless Love remake is probably going to suck. I mean, really, watch the trailer. It doesn't look anything too special. But I'm more on board for giving a remake of a movie I didn't like another chance because there's not much to lose. I'll just either A, dislike it like the original, or B, it might surprise me. I'm tired of movies that I like being remade into garbage. I'm tired of emphasizing, no, I like the original Friday the 13th. No, I like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, that may sound like a small thing, but after a while, it gets really annoying. So, that's just my thought on that. What do you guys think? Let me know. Thanks for watching. See ya.